Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and it's time once more for our weekly painting progress. And I'm realizing now, looking at the calendar, that there's not a whole lot of weeks left in 2021, which is kind of cool and kind of crazy all at the same time. But nevertheless, we shall persevere and continue to paint like we're going to actually make an impact in this backlog. No, we are. We definitely are. I am going to sit down one of these days and actually count up how many models I have painted this year. But we're going to start things off with a pretty simple, if I can get him in focus there, little Victrix Germanic tribesman. Nice little figure. I don't know what's going on with his little braid there. I used silver and it got totally washed out. Like he had a little clasp in his hair. But you know what? And I have no idea what's going on with that shield. It's just scribbly gibberish. But that's okay. He's got a face painted. He's got eyes. That counts for something, right? But, you know, he's nondescript enough that if I throw him in a crowd of other guys with spears waving over their heads in large oval shields, he'll fit right in. So, funny enough, this week, I really tried to get some other stuff done besides him, and it just felt like I was not making a whole lot of progress. Now, mind you, I did get a couple of figures done, but they took a lot longer than I thought they were. We did another one of these Bushi strikers, I believe they were called, from Puppets War. He did have a banner pull there, and it kept breaking off until the point where I said, enough is enough, and he is going into battle without it. I'm sorry, my friend. You're just going to have to make do. So we can lighten that up a little bit. And yeah, once more, we seem to be very much channeling a manga spawn aesthetic, whereas our last one was a little bit more in the white zone. This guy's a bit more yellow, but that's okay. They look well together, and then go play with my Matsudans as well. So he's finished, and I'm sure I have some more laying around somewhere. And eventually I got to do the big Gazgul or whatever. Let's see what else. Speaking of orcs, we got this dude done. This is one of the first Legion orcs, and I really enjoyed these. These were really nice figures, and I feel like I did not do this guy justice, just if I can get the words out of my mouth correctly. I thought I did a better job, but I feel like the colors have all kind of blended in. I should go back and fix things up. And interestingly enough, I don't know if everybody out there is aware, but First Legion actually has another Kickstarter coming up for even more fantasy stuff. So before the year is over, I've got a treat to show you guys some of the preview figures that I got a hold of from First Legion to give you guys a nice little tease. And I know I am going to be eagerly anticipating those. The casting jobs are quite nice. Just the overall look and aesthetic of these figures, nice and chunky. I always like that. Somewhere I've got one of the ogres that I was painting too. I should finish him. Hopefully I can finish him before the year's done. He's a good sized orc too. Big enough if you wanted to go like Iron Jaws style. You could use them as that. Make a nice little kill team supplement, but you know me, I'm going to go skirmish away with these guys. He wasn't even my favorite one. I think he's the most armored of the bunch. And also, speaking of orcs, probably where most of my time went this week was on this crazy monstrosity. Now, I painted another of the Artel orcs a while back, and I absolutely enjoyed it, and I'm pretty sure I haven't even posted the video of this guy. This is a totally different one. I might need to do that now this week. And interestingly enough, Artel W has actually put out a whole bunch of little add-on bits for these guys as well. There's a new platform and a new rotary cannon you can put instead of the flamer. There's a big power maul hammer type add-on hand that you can replace these with. And the cool thing is, the three of these orcs that were all released at the same time, they are totally compatible with each other. So if you did want to go hog wild and have like 7 or 8 of the same figures, you wanted to get like 3 units of them and do like 3 9-man crews, they all technically could become completely different and unique because they all can swap weapons, arms, heads, torsos, legs, everything. Everything on these guys is completely compatible. So, my problem with orcs is the painting of them. I'll be honest, I've said it before here. I'm not a fan of the weird, hunched over, semi-twerking, sticking my junk in the trunk out there for all to wiggle and jiggle about. Just not a fan. I liked Mantic's Marauders a lot more in terms of just basic sci-fi orcish grunts, but I love these Artel guys, and I'm probably going to pick up some of the Tank Busters too, but I really hope they get the same sculptor that did these three, this trio of like mega knobs and power armor types. I would love to see some more stuff from him. I'm going to have to keep my eyes peeled. I know he's popped up in the comment section before, but kudos to you, sir. These were some great kits. Really enjoyed this guy. Even though it took me, I don't know how many months to finally finish him. There's like so many different colors, and some of this stuff is kind of washed out. You can't really see it, and it just, it was always whatever was left after painting something else, I would continue to splatter on. And that's my problem with orcs. I can never get a nice, stable paint routine for them. They just take forever, and I can't ever be satisfied with them. And also what I can't ever be satisfied with are more Kingdom Death figures. So this is one of the pinups of Death. This is, I believe, the Nightmare Ramette. Girl, you got a shiny rear end. She came out okay. Big issue for me is if you look really carefully, I'm going to point this out, I could not get everything aligned on her base. So you can see there's a little bit of a tab still sticking out of the skull and a little bit of her tab there sticking out of the foot onto that plane of skulls, plane of faces. Come on, man. Base she is attached to. I'm not sure what's the deal with her weapon. And now that I look more carefully at it, I don't think that I should have done the straps holding those severed hands to her broken blade in red, because the gory stumps kind of blend in now. Otherwise, I think she came out okay. I suck at flesh tones, and it's just like with the Kingdom Death girls, you gotta paint a lot of it, so I keep trying, and having to paint those freaking stringy thongs of theirs and maintain a solid line is not an easy task, but I feel like after doing so many, I am slowly getting better at it. She was not the only Kingdom Death girl we did this week. We finished up the Apotheosis as well. Not that I did another great job here, but it is finished. And I fear for her falling off that base so badly. I didn't do a good job building her either. I believe she is also in one of the Pinups of Death boxes. And speaking of Pinups of Death, I just got my Halloween Survivor pinup figures today, the plastic eyes, so hopefully we'll get those. Probably not till next year. We'll get around to them eventually. I want to build those maids first. I don't know where or what those girls were all about, but I'm happy they came out. Those are pretty cool, so we'll see those probably before the rest of the Black Friday bunch. And I'm just rambling at this point, but I'm also wondering if we're going to see any Christmas figures. I think I've built all of them except maybe the Christmas Twilight Night. I'll have to go double check. And finally, last but not least, we have a Lord Imperator, if I remember correctly. And I could not get this guy to go together completely. Maybe that's how he's supposed to be. I don't know. And he just did not want to... Oh, shoot. I was going to finish up his little tilt shield clasp thing there on the opposite side of the griffin head. I was going to do the interior of it blue. Poop. Maybe I still will. I dig this model, and he was kind of my practice run for the big bad Hammers of Sigmar. I want to say Primarch, but that's not the right word for whatever he is. But the dude with the big hammer and swagger. Anyway, this guy was like a trial run. I don't get the wearing of the Griffhound pelt. It's kind of weird to me. Make more sense like a lion or something. But he's done. I dug this model. I don't have any of the starter sets. I just grabbed him. Thankfully, I got it before all of the other sets came out, and they were a little bit cheaper. And you cannot see. I tried to put some highlights, but nope, they ain't showing up. So a somewhat productive week for me, other than the fact that I didn't actually get all the models that I wanted to get done to a point where they were finished. We definitely got some finished. That's always a good thing. Hopefully all of you guys are out there, I'm going to say, enjoying the holidays, because I know they're right upon us here. And I can't speak even for myself if I'm going to get a whole lot of stuff painted this week. Busy, as is always the case right around this time of the year. But that's all right. I figure if I can at least get 2 or 3 done, I'm going to be pretty happy. And this guy, you've been hogging some space on the table, my friend. So a nice little haul. And hopefully I can get some stuff from Mr. Sparkletrout within the next week, because he's been too busy playing Warframe, because I know there was a new update, and yeah, good luck pulling him off of that. So hopefully we'll see some stuff from him as well in the near future. And as somebody mentioned, I am going to make sure we send that other Holiday Kingdom Death 54mm pinup off to my dad's, because I'm going to be going over there in just a sec. So, as always, we're going to have those links down below. If you want to track down any of this stuff yourself, you're more than welcome to it. Not everything's even printed this week, shock of shocks. That usually is the case. And we're also going to have a link down below for our Patreon page as well, where if you'd like to help contribute to the cause, it is always greatly appreciated, and we are going to be figuring out, with your guys' input, a suitable logo, hopefully at the start of the next year. So, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.